Okay, so your first steps after you've done, the agreements that you had to do, make your character. Limited options, but hey, then you've gotten in, you've done the first tutorial stuff, which we'll go over some critiques on that here in a little bit, maybe in a different video. But yeah, so you've went around, you've done the first little tutorial, you've grabbed your 3-star. Hopefully you didn't just buy whatever when they were talking about spending DP. And the 3-star that you get is going to be, I think, 400 to 450 cost, and you have some okay suits there. Now, the first thing I will say is 450 is a pretty high cost. As you notice there, that is the cost of the suit. When you go to sortie, I don't know if you actually looked in with the sortie girl over there, but you actually will see that there's a cost value on whatever you queue for. Whatever that value is recommended that you take that value. Anything under that is probably too weak. Now, I will say there are a couple exceptions, but right now, until you get used to the game and you know more about the game, take the cost that you queue for. But once you've done all that, you appear here, ready to go. This is the current banner. So if you're starting tomorrow, this is what you'll see. They're also doing a limited supply drop of this. So again, you've already seen what your first box looks like in the drops. You do those same spins to get these. So they just came out with this. This is kind of cool. You get 2 different operators. You won't get Nighthard till like this clan ranked thing comes out. By the way, we'll be recruiting for my clan, just saying. And once you get Ensign, which is pretty far down the road, to be honest, but you get, what's his name on the right, which I do not remember. He's the rank up dude for, when you're ranking up from private, which I think is what you start as, something like that. Anyway, here's emblems, or medals rather. Medals, I'll do another video kind of showing this, or maybe just do it in this one. We'll see how it goes if I get to it. It will be something I get to at some point. Login bonus. So day 1, I actually kind of already clicked over, so whoops. But it already checked off the day 1. You get these every week. This is exactly what you get every week. 3 tokens a week, 8,000 DP. Pretty cool. Now, for your first 13 days, you get all of these. 2 tokens, 2, 3, 3, 5, 5, and 10. So you get quite a few tokens. If you want to wait and then spend them all on a big 10 spin, you can do that. Or if you want to try to go for the current banner, you can do that as well. Here's the daily missions. They'll always show up. For me, I'm on Eastern time, so it is 4 p.m. Eastern as of right now. When Daylight Savings decides to switch and stuff soon, we're about to fall back, it'll be 3 p.m. So, click damage, that's pretty easy. Defeat a rival. Now, sometimes it'll be ground, it'll be space only, defeat or win a game, win 2 games, kill 2 mobile suits 2 times in a game. Kill a mobile suit once, stuff like that. Pretty easy stuff. You get 3 tokens, essentially a day. Normally you can get that done in about an hour. It really is the queue time is the longest wait sometimes, depending on which, hopefully, now that the Western release is out, we got a lot of people. So, what would I do here first? Well, first thing I would say to do is come here. Talk to her. It's like I'm in restricted mode for, I think that's what you start out in. But come here, talk to her. She's got some more training stuff. Teaches you how to jump, your positions, how you can stand. I'll try to be going through some of these similar things, but again, do these first. You get a decent general type trainer that I've seen a lot of people use in high rated play. you get it up to level 3, which is the 200 cost, and that's the one you really want. You get some decent amount of tickets, and I'll go over that when I get over to the shop. And you get a decent amount of tokens. Actually, wow, that's 12 now at this point. And, you know, you get a little practice against some AI. They got space in there too, so you can practice against a bit of space AI, which is pretty nice. Go ahead and get those. Get these down. These are some good basic stuff to get done. Now, that's funny for a quitter. Anyway, so over here again is the reward. So come talk to Neidhard for your rewards. You get your stuff. So here's the 2 tokens, 2000 DP, awesome. And then clan terminal over here. So I guess real quick, I can't remember if you talked to him. Yeah, okay, you talked to him to find a clan. You can search for the oops. Okay, thank you. You can search for the clan here, and I failed to retrieve data, so oops. But you can enter in the little tag and request to join. Whenever you see your clan is leveled up or you've completed a mission, you can come over here, get the reward, then go over here to Neidhard to accept them. Again, that's the dude who ranks you up. So right now I've got private, you know, the little private symbol there. So that's all he does really. Over here, the Hanger Girl. For a long time, she didn't really do anything, but make sure you're always keeping these up to date. So what the hanger's for is you get to upgrade your suits with some decent little bonuses. Okay, so first we got, so I ended up getting the early production Gelgoog. Again, a bit high cost. I mean, if you want to go out and have fun, cool, have fun. That's the main thing. But I would recommend trying to stick to some lower cost suits first. Now, not exactly 100 cost. Try to get a 200 to 250. The Zakutu Kai is okay, but again, I was talking about parts in the introduction, I think. Did I? Maybe not. But anyway, you get parts. If you didn't see them in the shop or haven't looked at that yet, depending on the slots, some stuff you'll have, some stuff you won't. You won't have too many mid things. I don't know if the new frame is in yet. I think it is. That's a really good part. But you look here at the 100 stuff, very few parts. The problem is 100 is really weak and easy to kill. So your first goal is to get some 200 suits, right? But just showing you here, your enhancement list, you can look and see what they get. Some decent little bonuses. Normally they have an expansion slot, so you get one close, mid, and long range slot for more parts. Really cool stuff. Make sure you keep these going. They're 70 hours, or if you have tickets, which we have none, but if you have these tickets, which you'll get for getting duplicates, or if you've already found a suit and enhanced it fully, then you'll get the tickets instead. If you get a duplicate suit that isn't fully enhanced, it'll gain enhancement points. So the more that you play over here on the great success rate, you will get, I think it's every 50 games, it's like 5% or something extra. You'll notice it here in yellow text. So if you have tickets, it's 14 to just go ahead and instantly do it. And the increased percent is a great success. There also is a howling success, which I think is 3 times the 100 points. I think it's 300. Could be wrong on that. I've only got a couple, so yeah, pretty rare. And how you get the other ones unlocked there is having the medals. Now the second one is for getting corporal rank. That is just playing the game and gaining XP. So let's go. I mean, there's an information thing. I don't think it does too much. I think you can look at the website or something. I don't know if that'll be working, but yeah. So, looks like we got a weird boost. So I don't think this is going on in the current game, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, if you got this, then it's showing a step boost for 15 tokens. It's half off and you get 10 boxes. That's actually pretty good. Okay, 72-hour limited boost supply drop. I guess they're doing this for everybody now. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So try to get that as soon as possible. That's 10 boxes at half price. Yeah, I'll take that. But your tickets. So over from training, you got tickets. I would recommend not doing anything cosmetic for clothing, markings, or patterns, because parts are pretty awesome, and so are suits. For now, if you think it's going to take you a long time to reach Master Sergeant, which I need to find a list and post it and pin it in the Discord of all the ranks in order, but Master Sergeant is a decent ways away, and the Enhanced Melee program and the Enhanced Firing program is actually a pretty solid part that you want. So, you could save up the tickets and buy that. Again, it's 175. You do get 60 from, I think it's 60 from the training. But yeah, the other thing is too, we will be getting a bunch of suits at varying cost, which is pretty cool, for the actual release. So again, we'll talk about cost here in a minute, but that's going to be another thing. You're going to have a lot of suits to play around with, but low cost is going to be probably the most balanced thing that you're going to play, because again, you've got the loot box type system. There is a bit of pay to win going on, so the lower the cost, the less parts you need to be effective. With that said, what you can buy early on isn't too much, but what I would recommend is starting off by either using the trainer, which is a 200 cost. That's why I said do the training missions, because then you got a 200 that's really solid. Now, if you're a support player, GM Cannon's kind of cool, but their stats are pretty much exactly the same, and the Zaku Cannon can put out more damage. The only difference is you need to buy the MMP 80 for the Zaku Cannon. So if I was starting out again on a new account, I play support, I'm going to play the Zaku Cannon, and I'm going to buy that. If you're going for a raid, you have either the Zaku 1 or the GM Light. The GM Light has this little beam pistol that you can buy. Let's see what it comes with to start. Yes, that beam rifle stripped. That actually is pretty good against support types. So if this is the first time you're hearing about it, I don't know which order I'm doing all of these videos in, but I'm going to try to get as many as possible again. But raid counters support, support counters general, and general counters raid. Essentially what that means is you get a damage bonus, I can't remember the exact percentage right now, 2, and then if you have advantage, you deal more damage to them, and you take less damage from them, which is pretty cool. You get this little rock paper scissors thing going on, but depending on the play style, you can kind of fight back sometimes. But a lot of times, if a raid gets on you as a support, and yes, I'm a support main, so I'm gonna talk about support perspective a lot. But yeah, once they get on you, you're pretty dead. So the goal here is to get up to a 200 cost. So it might take a few games, but you know, we've already got 7,000, so that's 3,000, another 3,000. We just get it another 3,000, which, hey, you got 3 daily bonuses right now starting out, so you can go ahead and hit that. So there you go, you got a 200. If you're doing general, you're already pretty much there. The other general types, which we can go ahead and do this, and if you look down here at the bottom by pressing square, you can sort through things, and you can do a cost order. So the big thing we want is 200s. Okay, so we want general 200s. Well, that's a bit out of the rank because it's Sergeant 1 and cost range. But some of these cheaper things, you know, these are private first class, but we can get private second class stuff. So you can work your way toward the GM. It's not bad. What I would try to get to is private first class and get either the Kai or the ground type. They're pretty solid. The Zaku 2 type FS isn't bad either. out of the 200 cost here for general, but I would work your way toward one of these. Now, in the raid section, not the biggest variety here. Akai is stealth. It's kind of a fun suit. It has a decent skill cap to use, so I would say enter your own risk there. But typically, decent suits to start out with are either the Zaku 1 or the GM Light. Personally, for me, not being a raid player, I play the GM Light and do decently well with it if I decide to play raid in a 200 match. Now, 200 cost here. Sniper's kind of okay. Sniping's not my playstyle for a support, but that is one of the ways you can play. So you have sniper suits, cannons, and then kind of somewhere in between. So the commander would be what I would call somewhere in between. Although it does have a cannon with the prototype Magella tank top gun that it can have, but if you're using, say, the Zaku machine gun, it is definitely an in-between suit. The Zaku cannon is kind of my go-to old faithful at this point. I even take it into some higher cost matches because it goes all the way up to level 6, which is pretty cool. Even in the ranked thing where it was 350 cost, I did take it in as a 300 cost because, I mean, I just really like this suit. I'm good with it. And again, play what you like, play what you're good with, and play to have fun. But again, I wouldn't recommend taking in lower cost to anything starting out. Wait till you know what you're doing, and then you can kind of fudge the meta a little bit. Even then, I still got some rage from the game one group. So yeah, that I mean, well, I don't know if I'd say rage, but they're like, switch, what's wrong? Switch your suit. The GM cannon, again, is pretty much the Zaku cannon, only they take the health away. As you can see here, 9,500 and 8,000, and I think the shield here actually does have 1,500 health. So you just take it and put it in the shield. 255 for the slots, and if you look, the stats are exactly identical all the way down, from damage to defenses to thrust to speed. So essentially they're the same thing, and this has access to an MMP80, and this one has the 100mm. Now, what are the two differences between those? MMP80 is higher DPS, but shorter range. The 100mm is lower DPS, but farther range. And it has a faster rate to stagger. To kind of touch on that, if you're hitting somebody with bullets, there's a stagger rate that builds up. So different weapons will add to someone's stagger. And it's not just you firing at a target, but it's everybody firing at the target. The more hits they're taking, the faster that stagger gauge builds up. It's invisible, nobody can see it, but it's there. So if you're pew, 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 eventually the person's gonna get staggered, and then, you know, they can't do anything. General types will try to roll. One thing they don't talk about in the tutorial is the trainer has a dodge roll. I don't know if they talk about it in the intermediate stuff when you go into those, talking to what's her name there for the training that I recommend you do as soon as you get out of the first tutorial. But if they do, cool. But you do have a dodge roll with the trainer. Most general types will have a dodge roll of some sort. Some don't, and you'll have to check the skills. So with that said, let's go ahead, and I think this one does, so let's check the skills. Right here, to press it twice to perform an emergency evasion. So, emergency evasion system is what you're looking for the dodge roll. And you can do back, you can do sideways, forward, and during that you have iframes. So we'll touch on iframes here just a little bit. Iframes, invulnerability frames is what it means. You'll see on your health bar, it'll have this white outline showing that you're invulnerable while that's up. When it drops, then, you know, you're gonna take damage, and you'll learn the timings when you can shoot somebody after they tackle or some other stuff. And we'll go into that later in another video, but just kind of touching on it here just a little bit. For raids, yeah, we've kind of already, yeah, we've touched on what suits are decent. Again, try to get the Zaku cannon, maybe the Zaku 1 commander, since you can also take it into space. GM cannon can also go into space. It's a pretty good space suit. But yeah, personally, I'm not the GM sniper guy, so I can't really speak to how good that one feels. And yeah, you have to be private first class. That's not bad. But oh yeah, sorry, you can't get that yet. My bad, Sergeant. So Zaku cannon, GM cannon for space, and then if you want to try the sniper, I mean, again, if you like sniper type styles, go for it. One thing I will say though is learning to snipe and then learning when to move up. And grenades are awesome. You can learn to throw grenades well. 10 out of 10. Weapons. So again, you have a rank that you have to be to buy certain weapons. So here's the 100mm. Whoops, wrong one. So you've already got the first one, I think. So here we go. Here's level 2. And private first class 10. So this number here is what you have to be. So you have to be private first class 10 to actually get it, which is I think when you're actually ranking up to the next rank. So if you wanted to do that, you can see what suits down here and use it, and there is more. You can check mobile suit to see the exact list of what suits can actually use what guns and what weapons. So this is pretty cool. Come here, check some things out, explore, look at their damage numbers, kind of see what has what, and I'll talk about this later in deploying if I do a video on that, but whatever level the suit is, the level of the gun can be that in the cost amount. So for a 200, like Zaku Cannon, that's level 3, can have the level 3 MMP80, which is my go-to to start and what I would recommend for anybody who would like to get into the support style. So the MMP80 is a pretty cheap gun to get to level 3. That isn't too bad. You could have a pretty well set Zaku Cannon at 200 cost within a couple of days. 4,000, 5,000, you know, that's pretty much, if you're playing a decent amount and you're enjoying the game, you're going to hit that pretty quick. So you'll have the 200 cost within your first 3 games for sure, and then you'll have, because even if you lose, you'll probably still get around close to 1,000. And then, you know, you play a few games, get that one, and get that one. So you might want to pick that up first if you're going to go with Zaku Cannon. I already kind of recommended the beam gun that the light comes with, but if you are going to do the Zaku 1, you want the Zaku Bazooka, which is right here. So we'll get into this when we're talking about meleeing and maybe in the raid types as well, but yeah, there will be some overlap wherever I go. But the Zaku Bazooka is a good, nice weapon to start. So again, we're talking about what you're buying when you're starting out and what your goals are. You want to be a raid player. It is high speed, get in, kill the supports, don't get focused by the numerous amount of general types that can kill you really quickly, and kind of come in and help your team get some damage on some guys that are down and play safe. So you're pretty much kind of like the assassin toward the supports. If you played something like League of Legends, you're jumping in on the carry kind of type style in this case. So that's what you want for that suit, because you're going to want to get the stagger. Now, this machine gun is actually pretty good. It fires really fast and can get a lot of damage out. So not the worst thing to start with. But again, once we go into meleeing and talking about that, you'll see what I mean. From there, the beam, sorry, I was in the wrong thing. If you decide to go with a GM Light for raid, you're probably going to want to get to the level 3 when you get to the 200 cost. Other than that, level 3 100mm isn't too bad, especially if you decide to go with the GM Cannon. Again, I would recommend the Zaku Cannon, but if you like the GM Cannon, there you go, have fun. Now, there's a ton of beam sabers, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, lots of melee weapons. You can see what other suits kind of are in the game this way if you want to. Not all the suits are in the DP shop. A lot of them are in ticket rotation, so you got to use recycle tickets to get them, but eventually they will come into the DP shop. I think there are some suits though that will not be in the DP shop, but eventually when they're in the ticket shop, you can get them. And they tend to cycle through every now and then. I'm waiting on the Heavy Gundam right now to get back in the ticket shop myself. But as you can see, there's a lot of suits to choose from, and this is just the DP shop. They've finally got a pretty solid amount of suits at all cost ranges and all levels. The other thing, oh wait, I already showed this. You hold square, go to the right, select the cost value. Really handy when you're sorting in your own what you're choosing and just for looking to buy. But this is just the starter of what I would recommend on buying. So pick what you want to start with and have some fun. Good luck out there. And moving on, what do we got next? We got the sortie counter. So I will do a video on this, and I'll try to find the clip from earlier today, because we tried to queue and it's a thing. So we got space and ground. They split the ratings up. For a while it was just one, but there's the ratings. If you hear me talk about rating in any of the other videos, that's what I was talking about. Ground, 1,500 points. It's an elo system. Now what they do is they have a weighted elo system where if you beat your rival, so you get a score, if you beat them in, say, damage, kills, assist, stuff like that, you get an adjustment score. So up in A, you get 10 points if you win, minus 10 points if you lose. Now, if you beat your rival in all 7 categories, you get +7. If you lose to them in 2 more categories than what you've won, you would actually get -2 to your total +10, which would be only +8 for that game. So they have this adjustment score, which is kind of interesting. I still kind of feel like it's not the best system, personally, but that's an entirely other video. And yeah, that's something I think we've talked about on the podcast even. By the way, we do that on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. It won't be happening tomorrow because, well, this is coming out, and yeah, I'm trying to get these done, and we're kind of going to want to stream a bit and just meet some of the new community coming in. And people probably want to play and play with than hear us talk is the idea. But anyway, yeah, so custom matches. You can go in, search. You can actually find some decent stuff. People have a comment on the side of different things. If you ever see like 1v1s, sometimes there's a 1v1. Sometimes these are container matches. What that means is there's people just kind of AFKing essentially with, well, I mean, they're moving back and forth so that it draws, and so they have a chance to get a container at the end, because as you can see here down at the bottom, you can get 2 containers a day. Now the drop chance of those are actually pretty low, but fair enough. Daily missions, you've probably already read some about this, but I'm, just going through these. Really easy to do. I know I talked about them earlier. And you get 3 ×5 bonuses every day, which is pretty nice. Now, the ×5 bonus, and here's one reason why I wanted to point these out down here. The ×5 bonus is to whatever you play. Custom matches give less points for all DP, XP, So I would recommend your first 3 games, especially starting out, trying to progress as much as you can, do either rated or quick match on whatever you want to do. So 300, 350 is what we got right now. So this is a ground and this is space. Again, whatever the cost is, I would recommend trying to use something at that cost. Anything lower and it's easier for people to kill. Now we got 200, 300, 450, and unrestricted. Now what unrestricted means is you don't have to adhere to the level requirement of having, if you have a level 3 suit, you can only use up to a level 3 weapon. In this, you could have a level 1, say, Zaku Cannon, and use a level 5 MMP80. In unrestricted though, you can use whatever cost suit you want. So right now the highest is 550, and that's what people will probably be using. So careful about entering those, I would say. I mean, obviously go have fun, because you want to kind of use some of the shiny stuff. The Zommel, we all get a Zommel. It's really silly, it's big, and it's fun to shoot. I'm just saying. So if you want to go have fun, cool. That's what games are for, is to have fun. 450. Again, higher cost could be a little rough. So, you know, as a new player, I would probably start at 200 in the suits. That way you're not so part dependent on, you know, getting that extra damage or that extra defense or whatever. So go into some 200 games if they're up. If they're not, then kind of just play around and have fun, like I said. You know, it's early on. Try to get whatever wins you can. Try to have fun. Learn what you can. And you got to play different suits to find out what you like. So always keep a variety. But again, the lower cost will probably feel a bit better as far as the pay-to-win feeling comes into play. Oh, one last thing. You can, well, here first. Free practice. You can come here and you can have bots. They're kind of like the bots from the training, so they're okay. You know, you get a feel for your suit. It's probably good for new players. Once you get into the game, the AI kind of feel a little lacking. Now, real quick, you can queue as a group by hitting square. This is the clip, and if I could find it, I'll either throw up another video or something, and I'll probably talk about this in another video. But queuing as a group, the way it works is, do they have it here? Okay, so you can invite your friends, and then it finds another group of equal size and then fills it in with the +3 and +3 on each team. Now, they have changed this though, so that it will, if you have a group of 2, you can actually find a group of 3. And if you have a group of 3, you could actually find a group of 4. So this is possible. The more people that are trying to group, the better. Sometimes it's just nobody's grouping as 2 or 3 and you won't find them. So sometimes it's kind of awkward. I know, again, if you're trying to get your dailies in with your friends, you want to do either rated or quick so you get the most benefit. But I mean, that's just kind of part of it. But yeah, here's the sortie counter. One last thing, we have missions. So you have monthly missions. All of these give you DP, which is pretty awesome, actually. And then if you complete enough, you get 9 tokens the next month. So these are a big deal. You definitely want to try to get these as soon as possible. Limited missions are going to be when they do an event, they'll have missions up. And promotion, or when you're going for your promotion, in this case, for this account, it would be private second class. Or sorry, private first class from private second class, level 10. But yeah, the bronze, silver, and gold medals. You can see their benefits on the side, and the gold, each one will up it. So you get more stuff in the recycle counter, more boxes. It's 5 total if you have gold per day from the, you know, when you're at the sortie counter, you can see the 0 out of 2 boxes. It's that's what it's referring to. Finding rate granted by the encourage. So what you gain is you gain the ability to encourage your team. And what that means is at the end, if you win, you get, in this case, a ×4 bonus. I believe at gold it's ×10. And you can encourage 3 times a day with gold, 2 with silver, and 1 with bronze. Silver is kind of in the middle. You have 4 boxes with silver, 3 with bronze, and you have a rate of finding the containers goes up based on the color of the encourage. So that's the medals real quick. Sorry if this is awkward. Place to kind of do it when I was doing the outro there, but yeah, we found it, we got it. A cool little thing, I guess, the database. While we're at it, you can kind of look at your player data, which is pretty cool. You can see your win-loss and stuff like that. Clan, when that is up, I'll show that on my main account when I'm talking about my clan. So yeah, hope to see some of you in it, I guess. And then you got customization for your pilot. If you like that, cool. Cosmetics are always pretty cool. Eventually you'll be able to paint your mobile suits when you get Lance Corporal. And then of course they showed you the customizing thing and they talked about parts. One last thing, options. In the settings here, you can, once you get another operator, you can change it there. But simple chats. So the D-pad in game, depending on which direction, you can use the D-pad to communicate with your team this way. So you can change these. There's actually quite a number. And whoops, uh-oh. That was supposed to be Roger that. Whoops. I have to fix that if I ever decide to play on this. There it is. Cool. So, as you can see, there's quite a list here. It is a lot of different stuff that you can use. So find out what ones you think you're going to need as you play and kind of use them. So anyway, there we go. Now we've done a full basic run through, I think, of the area, which is the hub, where you'll eventually start seeing other people running around in, and kind of some of the menu options when you press triangle. But anyway, again, I do have a Discord. If you have any questions, join it. It'll be in the description of this video. I stream on Twitch. The link will also be in the description. If you have any comments, whatever I missed, whatever you think I could add, I might have already done it in another video, or I might have it in another video coming up. Yeah, go ahead and put that in the comments down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Twitch or even in the comments. I'll try to get to those. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Have a good one. Peace.